Welcome. You've splash landed into this Prosecco-laden podcast, straight into the woo-woo pool with the crew of Ohm-g. We're just a simple group of tragically imperfect and highly empathic BFFs, exploring a wide range of atypical topics with humor, grace, and curiosity. This is Ohm-g. Welcome. On this episode, she is an Akashic Records reader, a psychic medium, and an energy healer. Her name is Melissa Sparrow, and you won't want to miss this. You're here with the crew of Ohm-g,
the podcast. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back, Melissa.
Yes. This is Camille.
And this is Lynn.
This is Brenda C.
This is Chandra.
This is Aaron, and once again, we have our friend Lisa visiting.
Hello. Hi, and welcome back, Melissa. We're so happy to have you.
Is this the second or the third time you've been on?
Fourth.
This is our third recording, fourth episode. We had this conversation before you arrived.
We did. Brenda was
sorry. Yeah.
getting things.
Fourth episode, third appearance.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Well, thanks for having me back, you guys. I always love to be here with you.
Yeah, and so today we're going to be doing something very different on the podcast. Is we are going to be helping spirits that are stuck cross over.
The crossing over event with the Ohm-g podcast and Melissa Sparrow. Yeah, so we got started like getting ourselves grounded and stuff before we got on the call with Melissa, and they are a gathering. So we don't know what's going to happen today, but I think it'll be fun to be able to help these whoever decides to come in, and also to talk about this subject too, because I think it's something that people probably don't talk about that much, about the differences between if somebody's stuck here, if they immediately go to spirit, or what the differences might be. So, Melissa, why do you think that spirits get stuck here sometimes and they don't cross over immediately?
Yeah, there's a few reasons that I've encountered when crossing spirit over. Sometimes they don't realize that they're actually dead. And so they're still trying to connect with that physical body and then the physical space that they lived in, and they still see it as theirs. And so when they're in their home and others are there, they get really angry and frustrated because A, they're not being seen, and they're talking to these people that are in their home to get out, and they're not hearing them. So it can be a case of that where they just don't quite understand that for whatever reason. And it can be due to perhaps a traumatic way in which they left past. Sometimes if it's really quick or if it's tragic, they're really caught in trauma. And that, what we talk about, that dense lower energy. And sometimes they just don't want to leave. It's not like we are all, when we transition and the soul leaves the body, we are all shown an opportunity to go to the spirit world. It's not like these stuck souls haven't had that opportunity. It's just that they weren't of the consciousness or the will to go.
Yeah, I think
that makes sense.
Do you think sometimes too that it's like fear based around maybe their religious beliefs, or they're afraid they're going to go to hell if they thought if they think they were bad people, or they had done something wrong?
Yeah, or they can still be stuck in that hell. Like, a lot of times we'll see individuals that have taken their own lives, and it's like they're going through this energetic negative loop, and they just can't somehow, it's almost like they are on earth living their hell because they're living that moment over and over, and they can't seem to get out of it. But yeah, to answer your question, I do believe that a lot of the times it can be something that is holding them back from wanting, like it could be fear, it could be trauma, it could be, like you say, their religious beliefs. But despite all of that, I want people to understand that we are always shown, regardless of our belief systems, even if we don't believe in anything, we are shown the light. We are given access to it. Every single soul has that opportunity. And again, when we live our lives, it's kind of like the other side of that is we have free will, even in death.
One other point I wanted to make about that, with the work that you do and the work I do, Lynn does, Aaron does, Chandra does, with working with speaking to spirits, I find that the majority of spirits do go to the light. Don't you think that's true? It's fewer that decide to stay stuck in for whatever reason. So just to put that out there to anybody who's listening, like the majority of people do go to the light.
Yeah.
So your loved ones, when they come in to talk to us, are usually at peace and, in their place of where they're supposed to be on the other side and not still stuck in between making that transition. Yeah.
Absolutely. Although I will say that if we're connecting with spirit that has passed recently, they're probably walking the earth plane quite frequently. You know what I mean? Because we have a VIP pass. We can come here anytime, right? And so I find that if I'm connecting to someone's loved one and they've just recently passed, they're going to be around their family. They're going to be walking around, watching everything, right? So, but yeah, I would say at least, my goodness, 90% of souls choose to go to the spirit realm. The ones we're connecting with are in their happy place. They're so good, It's just those poor souls that are perhaps not taking that opportunity that we need to help.
So should we share some stories?
Yeah.
Because everybody loves a good story. Some good crossing over stories.
Yeah.
Who wants to start? I have a really old one.
Absolutely.
Do it.
Do you want to hear it, Melissa? Okay.
Okay, do it.
So I know on the podcast I've talked about the spirit house that we lived in here in the town where I am now. I don't live in that house anymore, but that's where I kind of had my spiritual awakening and started having experiences and got on my path. And there was a little girl that lived in our house and her name was Betty. And she hung out with my two older daughters and would go to school on the school bus sometimes with my youngest daughter. And it got to the point where it was just like getting overwhelming. And so I called in a medium to come help us. And she had come on her own, I think one time before, and was not able to get her to cross over. So she had all of us come and sit with Betty in my daughter's bedroom. And we lit a candle for her and we all held hands and we helped her cross over. And it was the most beautiful experience because you felt her energy. And she was around like the entire time we lived in this house. So when her energy left, it was like it left a hole because she had become like part of the energy of our home and our life. And when she left, it was like, I don't know if you experienced this when you help spirits cross over, but it was like this whoosh kind of a feeling. And then I just start crying. And I don't know if it's the emotion of that release of that spirit is able to go on, but.
Absolutely. It's much like, when you're channeling spirit and they're moving through you, you want to cry, you get that big lump in your throat. I feel the same thing when you're crossing them over, because I feel like in order to cross them over, we have to connect deeply with them. But I it's funny because just before you said that, I felt your void. I was like, oh, you guys grieved her.
We did. And it was really funny because we were, after that house, we moved to Sweden and lived there for a couple of years. And my daughter, Colleen, who drew a picture of her. And I just came across the picture that she drew of her like 2 weeks ago. But she said that she came to visit her there. And she was just coming by to say hello and make sure she was okay. And that was however many years later, maybe 4 years later or something after we had done that. But yeah, we we loved Betty.
Did one of your daughters just get married or is getting married?
One is going to be getting married. Yeah. That's the daughter I'm talking about.
Okay. Because she's showing me, I'm connecting with this Betty right now, and she's going to be at the wedding.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm going to have to tell Colleen. She will love that.
She's literally walking with her down the aisle. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Get an extra bouquet.
Yeah. I wonder if Betty would
Yes. Like she's going to be like a maid of
I
honor.
love that.
That's incredible.
Okay. I don't know how you guys are going to do this, but she wants a seat at the wedding.
Okay.
Oh, you need to frame the picture she drew like they do and put it in a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that. I'll talk to Colleen about that. Yeah,
There we go.
she just got engaged this year, and they're going to look at wedding venues next week. So
Nice.
oh, that's so cool. Just wait till I tell her. She's going to be so excited.
I've got happy chills,
Me
y'all.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Well, that's the thing, right? Like she's a part of you now. And so I feel like she's around you guys a lot. Yeah. It reminds me of because sometimes when we encounter spirits in our homes, I always took it for granted that they were separate from us. But I have a story to tell you guys that's kind of opened my eyes to the fact of, oh, wow, they don't always have to be separate from us. I went to a home where this mom was asking me to come because none of them were sleeping. Her poor little daughter, who was 6 at the time, was scared to sleep in her bedroom, wasn't sleeping because they would be awoken at 3 a.m. to the sound of this woman crying on their stairs, like sobbing. And the little girl would wake up and see this woman standing over her because the little girl is quite psychic as well. And anyway, so I went in to give you guys the Coles Notes version. Of course, go in, I clear each room, but I would always each time ask my client, the mom, to tap in and see how she's feeling. And it was like, we just couldn't get to the root of it. So then something told me, no, you have to go into her. And so lo and behold, it ended up being an aspect, a version of my client that is in another dimension and reality. Yes. That lived on the land that they had just purchased their home on.
I love that.
Yeah. And she was literally haunting her. It was
Melissa,
insane.
Of course you're going to believe this. Of course you will. When we were recording the previous episode, it was about quantum healing, going into different timelines and different lifetimes and how kind of like lifetimes aren't necessarily happening disparately. They're kind of not even like parallel. It's like everything's happening at once and it's all in the field and da-da-da-da. And the question that occurred to me to ask you today is when people are feeling maybe things that they call like attachments or things of that ilk, could it be that there is a part of themselves that they need to cross over? I kid you not. And it was like, I'm sitting here listening to our previous guest, Deanna, talk, and I'm thinking about this. And it's like this big, almost like realization to me of like, aha, like that's what's going on there. I'm amazed. But of course, that's the story that you tell.
Wow.
Well, I mean, because it happens. And I didn't know it either, Chandra, until I saw it for myself. And it was a beautiful ceremony. Once I established who this was, where she was, even so much to like my client, this woman was really connected to the earth. And my client just, as soon as I told her about her, she knew her. And it was like a beautiful reunion and goodbye all at the same time, because I did end up crossing this version of her over because she was basically stuck because her children and her husband had died of the plague. And she was just grieving and mourning and stuck in this timeline reality, this life. And she didn't understand that my client was actually a version of her as well. Okay. So to her, they're in her home, in her space, and she is just, I mean, my heart went out to her. I felt so sorry for her. And it was a beautiful crossing because I always tap in and I actually try and recreate the original soul crossing in the sense of I ask their loved ones to come forward, front and center. And then I open up a portal for that to happen. And then I literally carry her with angels through that portal. And then generally we'll be like handing her over to their loved one. And that's it. My job is done. So, in the end, it ended up being very much the same as any other crossing over, but it was just interesting that it was
That's pretty wild.
this aspect of her.
I have, as you were just sharing that, Melissa, thank you. It felt like someone dropped in and has a message for a specific listener. So the first thing they're saying is rewind to re-listen to what Melissa just spoke about, because there is someone in our listenership that is experiencing what we're all kind of talking about right now in one specific room of their house. And they're kind of like, oh, it's just bad energy, or, oh, maybe it's haunted, or but they sort of are just like apprehensive to address the subject. But I think that they're going to end up helping an energy or a spirit cross over from that specific room where they're feeling that. So if you are this listener and that is resonating with you, good luck. I don't know. And also we're here for you, but that felt like a burp, as you say, Melissa, like when something's channeled that needs to come out. So just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
While she was...
Well, as you were talking, Erin.
Oh, that's okay. When you were talking,
Lisa.
my
Go
hands
ahead.
just started pouring sweat, and I heard like an 18-wheeler in my left ear.
Oh, wow.
And I looked around. I looked immediately to you, like, did you hear that too? But my hands were just soaking wet, and I heard a truck, and
Wow.
I don't know.
It's interesting, but it's connected.
Yeah, I was getting like a crawl space.
Oh, I know whose house that is. I
That's
know
what
who
I
it
was
is.
seeing.
I do.
Do you?
Okay.
You do too.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
There is someone that, we could like,
Can we go
I
in
can
there?
like, we can tune in. Me and Brenda have been there, so we can tune
Okay.
into the house.
Because I'm seeing it. It's a crawl space that I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a crawl space, and there is a symbol that is, I don't know if it was written on the
Is it
piece
a
of wood in
circle?
there, or if it was drawn
circle?
on the piece of
I'm
wood
seeing it.
in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yep.
Woo. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
I know,
It's so
right?
fun when a bunch of psychics get together,
Okay. Well, Erin,
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. So do we need to tune into that
I
space?
think
Oh,
we
go
need
ahead,
to-
Melissa. Sorry.
I think we need to tune in. I was just going to say, Erin, I think we need to go there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Are you guys getting both male and female?
I know that there's a male
Okay.
in there because I've dealt with him.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a female living in the home right now? Okay. That's what I'm seeing.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see him in that space, Melissa? Because I see him in that space right now.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah.
It's making me nauseous.
It feels like
There
there's a lot of
is.
like
Like, I'm
dark, like
talking black
aggressive
magic
energy.
kind of
It
guys.
is.
Like
Like-
frustration.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting.
kind of the symbol.
Yeah.
It was-
Almost like satanic. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say
It
that
makes
this
perfect
individual,
sense.
like he's
Mhm.
feeling not old? I would say like, yeah,
Mhm.
like 40
Middle age.
Yeah, that's what I'm
40-ish.
getting.
Early 40s. That's what I'm. Mm-hmm.
Is this
Mm-hmm.
her son?
Mm-mm. It was the previous owner.
Yeah.
Previous? Okay. Because I'm seeing,
He might have had a son.
He might have.
oh, okay.
So can you tune into this, Melissa? Because I'm picking up like a connection here between this person's child, like the person who is currently living there is really struggling right now with some really dark issues. Do you feel like this could be connected with him at all and needing to clear him out of there
Absolutely.
and that energy out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah. I see him like just this black smog,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like just very dense, dark energy. He wasn't in a good space when he passed.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying he passed of his own hand. Are you guys getting that?
That wouldn't surprise me at
Mhm.
all. Because I think he was doing a lot of things that were secret and hidden.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is in the crawl space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He had a little
Secret.
secret crawl space.
Okay,
in
well,
the
that's
house.
where I'm seeing him doing all these rituals.
Yeah, me
Mhm.
too.
And
Yep.
Mhm.
Self-hate.
Yes.
I keep hearing over and
Yes.
over
Yeah.
self-hate.
Self-hate.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what I
it's
got
all
when I was
stems
in the
from
house.
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
almost like, and self-hate, but hate for others. Deep, deep.
Mm.
resentment,
Yeah.
right? Like he's been ostracized in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm getting the name Gerald
You write that down.
Mhm.
Write it down. Okay.
and Earl. That's random.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing I do when I connect, I don't know how you guys work, but I'm just literally, I sit with him. Like I come from a place of love and
Mm.
understanding. So I just literally can see myself. I'm sitting cross-legged in his little circle, obviously protected. He's so tired. That's what he's telling me.
Mm.
What are you getting, Brenda?
He's telling me he was bad. And I think that's why he's so afraid to
Crossover.
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's afraid of the things that he did in this lifetime.
He's saying that this is the only space, this small, secretive, dark space in the whole world that felt like his own.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only place that he could go and retreat to and didn't feel judgment.
Yeah.
I feel like he's still hiding, like he's hiding there because he doesn't feel like he belongs anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's what I was getting.
Yeah, I don't think he's totally aware of the effect that he's having on some of the residents of that, some of the darker effects that he's
No.
having on some of the residents now. Because I think he just stays cocooned in that place and doesn't realize that his energy even leaves that space.
Yeah, but it's seeping up. I see it like dark, dark roots literally seeping into the home.
Yeah.
Is there a daughter there that's being affected?
Yep.
Because I'm seeing her.
Yep.
And she has mental health issues right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
The basement or the crawl
Anxiety.
space is right below her bedroom.
Mm.
Well, that makes complete
my
sense, Lynn.
Mhm.
It's like I'm
Yeah.
seeing it seeping through the floor and just like
Yeah.
embodying
Mhm.
her. And she has
Yeah.
these
Mhm.
impressive, they're saying suicidal thoughts and she doesn't know where they're coming
Yep.
from.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
from
I have
him.
chills all over right
I
now.
do too.
It's from him. So
She's even mentioned about not being able to control them, like she doesn't know where they come from
Yeah.
and she can't control them.
yeah, because they're not hers. They're his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just open to it. Unfortunately, that's what happens, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
It feels like she's very empathetic. And so, of course, his energy is drawn to that. Like you said, Melissa, like those dark roots that are kind of growing up in and around her and in her safe space, like, or what should be her safe space, her room.
yeah,
And it feels like there's only like so much protection she knows to do at a young age.
hmm
And it's just not enough. Like I don't know that he's aware of his power is what I feel.
yeah, agreed. I don't think he's realizing it, but it definitely is there. So how about we like cross him over and then give her some healing?
That'd be great.
Perfect.
Okay. So when I cross over, I first approach the spirit. I mean, we already are sitting with him as a group. I see us all there.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then what I do is I just ask if he would like healing first, because it's so much easier to cross over a stuck spirit if you heal them beforehand, because then their frequency is lighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just placing my hand
He's,
above his crown. And
I see him crying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pouring in beautiful source, loving energy, activating his light body within him. I'm chiseling away the concrete walls on his heart and in his root. Kia yako lahayaki nananayayako shiki lahayaka nananayayako uishuko lahayaki diyaka ayaki lahayako layakiyela ugiariaki. And now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see his beautiful heart center is starting to crack open.
Mm-hmm.
Yaki, lahiaki, nahayako, diayako. And now from the top of the crown, I'm now going to clear all of that smog, negative energy, trauma, pain, suffering. Kiayaku. Yeah. Okay, are you guys ready to cross them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so I see us now, we're all gathering together, lifting him. Archangel Michael helps us carry him over. I'm opening the portal. Oh, interesting. Are his mom and dad passed, you guys? Or is that grandparents
Not sure.
we're seeing? I see like a mother figure.
I think his parents are both, yeah.
Are they both passed?
I think so.
Okay, because that's what I'm seeing front and center. Are you guys seeing that little black dog? I'm seeing a little black dog.
I got that's Earl. That you got the name earlier, Earl.
God.
That's what I like.
Okay, that's awesome. He just wagged his tail. He went, like,
oh.
Okay. That's
Sweet boy.
awesome. What a little sweet boy. He's here. Okay, so now I see this beautiful spirit smiling because he's seeing them. Oh, Heavenly Father, Nihayaki, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, please, Tiaki Lahayako, please carry our beautiful brother through Naha Lahayaki to the love, to the light, to source energy, to the spirit world where he belongs. Nahayaya, Yihya Nahya, let him go in love and peace without fear. Naha Lahya, and leaving behind all of the negative energy. Tiaki Yahyaki, Anananai Laha, Nayadiako. Okay, now I'm literally pulling his silver cord with him. Alahi nahalai dehayako. Eriaka kiao. I just saw him walk through. I don't know what you guys are seeing.
Yeah. I was seeing it like his light was spiraling out of him to where he was going.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the darkness was leaving and he was becoming the light.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
I kept feeling like I wanted to say, I can't believe this is finally over. I can't believe this is finally over.
yeah, that's kind of what he was feeling, eh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing a rainbow now, guys. That's interesting.
Good.
No.
I just want to close the space, that portal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The rainbow is
And then the other thing I want to do is clear the energetic, I'm losing my English language right now. The residual.
the space where he was in that home.
Yeah, thank you. The residual energy that's left in this space. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I'm seeing it as beautifully golden lit right now. How are you guys seeing things there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks clear to me.
Yeah. I was seeing it like whenever you do cotton candy on a thing, it was like the cotton candy was swirling up all of the leftover energy and swirling it up.
Yeah. Are you okay, Lynn?
Yeah.
I think several of us got emotional during that.
Yeah.
That's how I always know it's real.
Yeah. It's so hard because you're like, we're all having to feel it in order to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, you're helping to transmute that emotion for him.
Yeah.
Out of body.
Yeah. Aw. Well,
Thank you so much.
I think we should go and connect with her higher self right
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how old she is?
Mm-hmm. She's 13.
Okay. Thank you. Let me know when you guys have a visual on her. I have a visual on her.
Mm-hmm.
I've got her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys want me to pour in healing? Do you want to pour in healing? I feel like I'm taking over here. I don't want to do that.
Shall
No,
we
I
all?
think
That's
we-
okay.
Shall we all
Just
pour
collectively?
healing?
Okay, let's
Let's
all
all do
collectively pour healing in on her.
Perfect.
Oh, they're sending me to her solar plexus right away.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that worth center, right?
Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing her mind is like like it looks like cobwebs to me. Like we need to
exactly what I'm seeing.
clear out the cobwebs.
Mm.
They look black to me.
Yeah, me
like
too.
Black cobwebs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the neurons and synapses have just been shut off. Hey?
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been feeling like, but especially when you guys were speaking, I've been pouring in white light into her third eye and her crown.
Good.
And I'm seeing her like pacing back and forth with those black cobwebs in her head in her room. And there was an animal, like a pet recently, that was killed on their property. And that spirit that we helped cross over was a part of that, is what I got. And so I feel like I'm supposed to do like a light language transmission with my energy right now for her and for her bedroom and for the animal that passed.
Go for it.
Ina to kropache kiti iowa ina nuka shateoi ina lola she ia kata ima hoka shateai ina loai shu arikita shu ina moka shela hoa ina noai iaka toye shekia o ina hata shea shu parate ikite.
I had goosebumps all over me, Aaron. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. The dogs are very concerned.
Mm.
Yeah, every dog in here got up.
Oh my God, they were all napping before that. Now they're all okay.
Well,
I just say I'm not.
I feel like,
Yeah.
wow. Imagine the work we could do, guys, how quickly we work together. That's amazing.
Right.
I'm not even, I'll just say that I'm not even surprised that was the first thing that came through
Neither.
because she is very connected to our group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, I love
Like
that.
very connected. Like I talked to her before we came up here to
Are
record.
you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, how
Yeah.
divinely guided is that?
Right.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Cooper, I'm sorry, that was Cooper's tail.
Franklin dogs. Yeah. Thank you so much for your help with that, Melissa,
Yes.
because that was divine.
Oh, you're welcome.
She's really going to appreciate that.
This is beautiful. I love that.
That was beautiful.
Sorry about that, y'all. We were having a little dog emergency.
The dogs got riled up.
They
Yeah.
did.
They just wanted to help.
Yes,
They're like,
they
what the
did.
fluff?
Right.
And as we were doing that, I was
Oh,
kind of feeling called just to share with you guys, because when we were talking and do you guys lose your English language sometimes when you're like channeling?
Mhm.
And it's
A
like,
lot.
it's like, I know the word. It's just, I can't access it. Anyway, when I was trying to talk about the residual energy left in that space, I was making a little side note to talk about the fact that sometimes when it's a collective trauma, like say, for example, like somewhere where, I don't know, like say a prisoner camp of war. Okay.
Mhm.
Where there's something that has really, or like a plane crash, or it could be anywhere where there's something that there's a lot of energy, a lot of trauma that has happened within that space. It's not necessarily the souls or the spirit rather themselves that are stuck. It's that loop of that energy in that
Mhm.
space
Mm-hmm.
that you're feeling and picking up on. And so someone who would be open to energy would go into that space and they would connect with that loop of energy. Essentially, it's like that timeline is stuck,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then what you're doing is you're actually clearing that, not necessarily the actual spirits of it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I was at my office that I work out of here in the area, and they were talking about there was something going on in there and it just didn't feel good. And so I said, well, I'll go and I'll do a little clearing and see what's going on. So I did that last Sunday. And when I went in there, it felt like residual energy. So they do massage in there as well. And, that's another type of energy work, really.
Mhm.
And I felt like it had come off of one of the clients and was just kind of stuck there. And it was really weird. There's some other connections with one of the massage therapists there, and I got nauseous. But some of the conversations we've been having today have put some things together for me with that. But whenever I went into the space, I saw it as like a black blob of energy. It wasn't a form. It wasn't an entity. It was just energy. And my legs would go to jelly.
Wow.
It was really weird. It was like physically affecting me like that. But I spent some time clearing and it dissipated. I feel like all the residual is gone now too. But like you said, everything is not a person.
No.
Sometimes it's just residual energy from whatever it is that we're carrying around. I mean, we might off-put some nasty energy here and there, and then it just kind of crumbles up maybe with other people's energy and creates.
Well, it's just it's like somatic energy. You know, we all, so much trauma can get stored in the muscles.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If a massage therapist hits the right spot or does the right technique or whatever and releases that into something other than where it was stored, and they don't know to clear that later. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many massage therapists even think I need to clear this room after every client, just like a medium would clear themselves or clear their space or clear. Because if that client has a quote unquote release, there's some energy moving from one place to somewhere else.
And then Brenda walks in.
And then Brenda walks in and goes, good Lord.
There's the 12-year-old abandonment issue as a black blob making her nauseous.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and also even think about hairstylists. I actually did a clearing in my hairstylist salon. And
wow.
I mean, this was an actual stuck spirit, but my point was that even think about the energies that people are bringing into it. Like they're therapists to us. So they're like unpacking all of our stuff and then we leave and it's left there. Right.
Well, but also I thought you were going in a totally different direction than that, because what I'm thinking is, just think about how many the spells hair is used in.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
And you've got, and you're cutting off all of this the dead hair and leaving it on the floor of 20 people a day. And that's a lot of, I've never thought about it that way, but that is a lot of energy.
Chandra. Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like think about it.
Creepy.
They sweep it all up. And all of that energy and trauma and whatever is left onto the energy that's residually left on those hairs are in their space. I never thought about it that way.
I don't have an either.
We got to burn that hair.
Right.
Guess the next time I get my hair done, the conversation's going to go a little sideways.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know what? This is good that we did this remotely, because it is also helping your listeners understand that you don't necessarily have to be in person to clear spirit, right? You can do it remotely.
Right.
I mean, my daughter, I'm sure she'll be okay with me saying this. Like, she's very psychically open. And so many of the homes she's lived in so far have been very haunted and have had stuck spirits bothering her. So I would get a phone call late at night and it would be, there was like a little boy that was stuck that I had to clear. There was an older man that was stuck that had a shotgun standing in her closet.
Oh, geez.
And I cleared it remotely because she lives out of town, right? So I didn't necessarily have to be there. And I think sometimes people don't understand how energy works in that way, that it's like you can just transport yourself there, right?
Yeah.
What do we do next?
I know.
I'm like, y'all hang up your hats for the day. You know what I mean? Like, that was intense.
I have a question, actually. I wasn't even going to bring this up. It's something I guess I'm a little bit amused by it, but now I kind of want some clarity. In an apartment I've been living at for a few months now, and I haven't really shared this with anyone. I see things out of the corner of my eye. I see things flitting by on the floor, midair, ceiling. It doesn't feel like anything bad, but I know it's scaring my dog a little bit. And so I'm curious, is this something I'm bringing with me, or was it there when I got there?
Well, right away, you know what I was getting was an elemental for some reason.
Okay.
Like a fairy.
Yes.
That's what I was getting.
I mean, it flits.
That's what I was seeing.
And it darts.
Were you saying that to me?
Okay.
I was.
Like, I feel like it's a part of you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get into your personal stuff, but what I'm getting, love, is that you've been doing a lot of work. And now you're cracking open aspects of yourself and letting them in. And your essence is now embodying more of this avatar suit, if you will, this light body of yours. And it's beautiful. It's like this little fairy. That's what I was seeing. I don't know. What did you guys?
Thank you.
Yeah.
When she was talking about it, I saw a little fairy about this big just flitting around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and even when she first moved there, we had a collective conversation about her experience there and how she was feeling about the way people interacted together and how different it was. And we all kind of got the collective message of, well, Camille, that's why you're there, is to show them something different. You're there to shine the light for them. So when she was talking, I was
about that.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, girl, what did you expect to have happen? That's why you're in the place to start with.
Yeah.
When I start experiencing stuff and bringing that stuff into that area.
Yeah.
When I first moved there, I would go walk my dog and people could not see me. I felt invisible. I would say hi to someone and look directly at them, and I'm like, are they rude? Are they deaf? Are they,
Am I dead? Like,
do I need to cross?
Do I need to cross over?
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe, but I knew I had to be there. Don't know why. But this is great clarity.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because you're so earthy,
Yeah.
and so connected. And the fact that you're bringing out that beautiful elemental energy. I mean, let's face it, you're a grid worker to your crew, right? You keep them grounded. You keep them connected.
Preach, Melissa.
You are our grid worker, Cam. I love that title.
Thank you. And the only earth sign here.
Well, me too.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
So I'm with you.
Nice.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I actually have a question, or more of a little bit of a story. My mother's brother, who I actually didn't even know, he passed away, and I didn't even know he had passed away. He'd been dead for 2 years before I even found out, because we're not close to my mother's family. And my mother's also passed. But I don't know if it was like a month or so after I found that out, I had a dream about him, but my whole family was there. My mom was there. My dad was there. Everybody that was there was crossed over. He was there, and he was like, where am I at? And I said, you're here with them. And he said something about my mother, and I said, she's dead. And he said, no, don't tell me that, because that means I'm dead.
Wow.
So I think he was coming to me to say he didn't know he was dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what
Fair
that
enough.
feels like to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's weird.
Which isn't weird in the sense of like, well, you have the ability to see the other side. And I don't even think that he was making a like, I don't think it was that, oh, he saw your light on kind of thing and he came to you. I think you had the ability to see that because you're so connected to them. Is that making sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because I mean, it would be different if he had crossed and he knew he had crossed and then he was coming to you. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like he would be like, he would know that you're psychic and you can see him. But I don't think that was the case. I feel like you were tapping into that timeline, into that space.
Totally. What I heard is like Lynn felt a disturbance in the force. She knew something was amiss somewhere.
Yeah.
By any chance, did you know how he passed?
I actually don't even have a clue. I asked.
Okay, I'm getting
somebody else
coronary. Like they're making my chest feel very.
That is actually what I thought happened to him. I thought he had a heart attack.
And I'm getting my spirit sign for it was quick.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you seen him since?
Yeah, it was. I've not seen him since.
Okay.
He looked around and he didn't want to talk to me anymore because I don't think he wanted to be dead.
Well, do you want to check on him and make sure he's crossed?
I mean, we can check on him.
Okay. Do you want to tell us your brother's first name?
Oh, his name was,
sorry.
Yeah, it was my uncle. Yeah. His name was Leslie.
Leslie. We're going to all tap in collectively?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm seeing, did he live near a creek or something, Lynn?
I have no clue.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've got he's crossed. I don't know. What do you guys get?
I actually just went back to the dream state where I saw him and I couldn't find him.
I couldn't find him either. And I don't know if anybody else was hearing it, but I was hearing a heartbeat in our headphones.
Mhm.
But it was very slow, very rhythmic, very normal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I took that as a sign of if he did pass from a coronary, that now it's
All is well.
all is well.
Yeah. Yeah. The reason why I was asking, because I saw him. I always ask them to show me their happy place. I saw him fishing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's sweet.
he's up there fishing, doing his thing.
So, Melissa, there's a little boy here in the room.
Okay.
He's been standing in the doorway over here for a little bit.
Okay.
And he's wearing little shorts. And he's got like a sucker or a peppermint stick or something that he is like chewing on. And he's a little boy. Like
is it like those candy cane little sticks?
Yeah, I think it is.
Like, it's
And
not a
he's wearing,
candy cane, but an old fashioned, like,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's old fashioned because he's wearing like little shorts.
that's what I'm
That's
seeing.
what I was seeing. I was seeing it too.
Yeah, and he's got
Yeah,
like
but still-
brown hair, and he's kind of looking at me like he's got his head down a little bit and kind of looking up like that.
Yeah.
With his licking his candy, and he's standing over there in the doorway, and I don't know what he wants because he's just watching us. So I don't know if he's just like passing through.
Have you
I
seen
heard
him
him say,
before?
"Where's my mom?"
What's-
I've not seen him before, but I'm hearing him say, "Where's my mom?"
Where's my mom? Oh, little man.
I'm seeing him in my mind's eye, and he, like, I just second that you said I got this like intense heaviness in my chest that like won't leave, and it almost feels like the grieving or of feeling lost, or like you can't find your parent.
Mm-hmm. He's wearing like little brown leather shoes and little white
Mhm.
socks that come up to his knees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does he have kind of like little elf ears? Like little, I'm seeing
Mhm.
teeny little
Mhm.
ears.
I feel like he's lost. Like he can't
Yeah.
find his mother
He just told me I got lost at the market.
because he's got these big crocodile tears too.
Oh,
I'm covered in goosebumps.
Mm.
Because you knew him, Lisa. That's why you're covered in goosebumps. He was in your past life in Paris.
Oh, because as soon as she said that, I envisioned the socks, the shorts. I saw like a white ruffly, something with ruffles.
Mhm.
But I don't know if that's, I don't know. I just covered in goosebumps and wanted to go pick him up.
Yeah.
Was he Lisa's child?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Because I
Mm.
saw him go and put his hand in
Oh,
an adult person's hand.
and when you said, "Where's my mom?" It was, again, like the burp, like I didn't think it, but I heard in my head, "She's right here.
yeah.
She's in here."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Can I ask, like, Aaron, did you pick up on how Lisa passed in that life? Was there a drowning?
So they were near water, like this market that they were at together.
I got
And it almost was like there were like bombs or some kind of bit or earthquake. It was like a lot of like shaking and smoke and static. They lost each other and he never found her again. But they were along the waterway. So it could be that the street crumbled and she fell in.
yeah. I'm seeing her drown,
Mm.
and he's literally walking through rubble. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor little soul.
With his candy.
Aw.
He has like a grin right now on his face.
Yeah,
And
he's so cute.
he says, I didn't. Yes, he says, I didn't.
The front teeth.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my
He's
God.
saying, I didn't come here for you guys. I came back for you. And is pointing
Yeah.
at Lisa.
Yeah.
But is anybody else feeling like, I don't feel like he survived her. I feel like they just got separated, but
He's
Mhm.
lost.
and he's waiting for her to take him wherever goes. But
Yes.
I feel like they passed at the same time, just
They did.
were separated from one another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Aw.
Mm.
Because he's so connected to her.
Mm.
Mhm.
He didn't know what to do when he was separated from that connection. Well, let's ask Lisa. Are you okay if we cross him over?
Absolutely.
Okay, now I'm getting, he's a little scared, but he's excited. That's what he just said. You guys still see him, Lynn and Brenda?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I feel like he's already getting, for a better term, sucked off. They use in that a
It's
TV
my
show
favorite
goes.
show.
Like I saw him like
it?
spading.
Sucked away.
and-
Okay, so I'm seeing Lisa. Aaron, did you visually see her in that lifetime? I'm seeing her having dark hair.
I did not visually see Lisa in that lifetime, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. Because I know this is kind of freaky, but I'm asking her to come forward and take him.
Sure.
Okay.
So whenever I leave my house, I always tell the dogs, Mommy always comes back to get you.
Oh.
And I just kissed him on the forehead and the cheeks and said it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you just bent and grabbed his little cheeks like this.
I did.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh my goodness. Hiala hiaki nahayako haha yatiki alaya hikiaya anananaya naha yoyako lahayaniaya hiki yayayako ananaya ya shuk 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 ayaki naya. And I just saw you take him by the hand as I was doing my light meditation.
I did.
And cough. Kaya la yaki na nanayako. Anananay ray ray ray. Oh ya 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 ya. Na ya ya. Ye la yaki ya ya na. Oh yo. And then I saw this beautiful golden light just pouring down upon both of you. Did you see that, Lynn? Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah, I'm full of goosebumps.
I
I don't
saw
know
the
about you
closing.
guys, but
That was intense.
that was beautiful.
We should have brought some Kleenex.
Oh, man.
I didn't realize this was going to be so emotional.
I don't mean
Wow.
to laugh, Lynn. It's just beautiful.
No, this is a good thing.
Mhm. Wow.
Well, we didn't know what we were signing up for today now, did we? And our listeners aren't going to know either.
No, like honestly. Didn't see that
So
coming.
much healing.
So if this is the last time you listen to the Ohm-g podcast because of our foolishness and antics,
Right.
it's been a good run, guys. I'm glad this is the one you went out with. Closing time.
This will probably be like our most listened to ever episode because it's full of ASMR because all we're doing is
I see a little boy.
Oh my goodness.
we all got our eyes closed, banging the microphones as we wipe our tears.
So true. So true.
You know what will be interesting is to see if your listeners are seeing what we're seeing,
See,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool to get that feedback. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, he was cute.
He was
He was
adorable.
Adorable.
What can I say? I
It's
make them cute.
You make them cute. Get out of the timeline.
Lisa makes some pretty babies.
No.
Wow. Where do you go from there?
I know that's exactly what I was thinking. What's next?
The bar. Okay. It's shot o'clock at this point, guys.
Well,
Hopefully.
let's save
Yeah.
some for next time.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Melissa. Let's say someone is listening and they feel very strongly that someone needs assistance to cross over. What's their step one? What do they do to look into that?
Well, it depends on how open they are to working with energy. If there's someone
Right.
that feels equipped to be able to work with that energy themselves. But I would highly suggest that you understand it and have taken either a course in it or at least worked
Yeah.
with that type of energy and crossing them over, because there's an ethical component to this, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
I would say reach out to an energy worker that does spirit crossing, and
Mm-hmm.
understandably you'd be in safe hands, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I want to talk about too quickly is there's also the component of crossing spirits over at the time of their death, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the death doula, right?
Hmm.
And their role. That is also a beautiful, excuse me, way to support someone as they are transitioning and leaving that physical body. And sometimes there's fear surrounding that. Or again, like we experience, that hesitancy could be something that they are afraid of, or they don't want to leave their family. there's also that aspect of it where someone who is actively dying, they could either set that up prior to, if they have, obviously, if let's say they're terminally ill or they're aware and they're very spiritual and they would like that assistance, or the family could reach out and ask for that support. Because I myself, I experienced that for the first time when I helped my mom cross over, and she was actively dying. She was not conscious, although if one of her grandchildren would walk into the room, she would raise her arm and say their name and and grab their hand. But other than that, she was not aware. And when it came closer to the time of her taking her last breath, she opened her eyes and looked at me and said, "Help me." And I knew in that moment intuitively what she was meaning, that she wanted me to help her across because she was too afraid to do it herself. And so that's what I did.
Wow.
And that was the very first time I had done that. But what opened my eyes to the need for it, I guess. And that's why I'm bringing it up. Because I feel like, there's so many ways that you could support someone, much like there's cultures that you bring in the priest, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like we've talked about so many times before. It's like any change is change. Even if you're a very spiritual or a very woo-woo person, change is change. And it can always be frightening, or at least it's unknown, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I could see even if you are a very spiritual person, there's still being an element of fear, if not just element of the unknown in that moment. And I mean, who doesn't like being supported in those times when you're going through those massive shifts in energy and shifts and change? So I can see how even a very spiritual person would want that assistance at that time.
Yeah, because to be honest, when people say, "Oh, well, we die alone, we're birthed alone, we die alone," I disagree with that. Because I've seen it. I've seen young souls show me that they're walked through the portal by their loved ones, their deceased loved ones, their grandparents, their soul group. And the same goes for when we leave this world. We are met by our loved ones, but wouldn't it be amazing to be held and supported by angels and someone who can walk that journey to the portal with you? I mean, I would love that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how was that experience for you doing that for your mother? I'm sure that it was difficult in some ways.
It was surreal. And honestly, my sister tells me what I did, to be honest, because I think I was not me in that moment. And I just did it. And it was interesting because afterwards I was like, I can't believe I did that. But I think now I've connected since with my mom and with my grandfather, because I literally began to carry her with the angels, and I placed her in my grandfather's arms on the other side. And he was waiting for us. He knew that this was going to happen. And afterwards, it was kind of surreal. I was like, I can't believe I just did that. And the other funny thing is, guys, you'll appreciate this, is that there was my whole family was surrounding the bed. And so there's believers and then there's skeptics. And there were some skeptics that probably thought that I'd lost my mind. What is she doing? But you know what the beautiful thing was? As soon as I placed her in my grandfather's arms, she took her last breath. That was it. Yeah.
Well, if that don't make a believer out of them, I don't know what will.
I don't know. I haven't talked to them about it since, to be honest. I'm just like, it's kind of one of those moments of like, oh, I just don't want to talk about it.
They saw me do what?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're powerful, and they got your back, Melissa, because you earlier called in some of your guides and angels to have your little dog stop barking. And I'll tell you, within 30 seconds, she got quiet. I haven't heard her since. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. But
so they probably put a muzzle on her. Go out there. And
right. Mommy's working. She's got business to do upstairs.
A spirit muzzle.
Exactly. Which I'm so glad, because I thought, oh my gosh, if she does this also, this will be awful. But
no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that was something.
I feel like I've run a mile, y'all.
I know. I'm like, I feel really spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was
Does it wear you
beautiful.
out, Melissa?
No,
Does it make you really tired?
No, it used to, but I just, and I don't want you guys to think, because I wasn't really crying as much as you, and I was kind of feeling bad, but I feel like I get more excited for them. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
like I get excited because I know what they're going to experience next. Like it's all,
Right.
but it used to tire me out, but it doesn't. It actually invigorates me because I feel like, wow.
Well, I can see how in this instance, that would be exactly what happened. And this was not at all what I was expecting, but everybody in this room had an emotional connection to every spirit that came through.
Yeah.
So so because I love Lisa and I'm so connected to Lisa, when she's feeling that emotion, of course I'm going to feel that emotion too.
Yeah.
And, love Lynn. And when it's, Lynn's uncle, of course, all of us are going to feel.
Right.
So I feel like that's why we're maybe a little bit more emotional and a little bit more spent in this particular instance, because for whatever reason, every spirit that came through was
our
connected
friend
to,
that's in the house.
to our group and somehow very deeply. So
that makes sense for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, but it was beautiful working with you guys today. Thank you for letting me be.
that was amazing.
We are
Likewise.
honored. Thank you so much for being with us.
And we didn't really even know what this was going to look like.
No.
It's like,
Sometimes it works better that way.
yeah, let's just get on here and see what happens, right?
yeah, oh, that sounds like it'd be fun. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Melissa, if anyone wants to reach out to you and get some healing or delve into their Akashic records,
Or
how do they find you?
Or spirit
Yes.
conferences. Yeah, I do that as well. They can access my website, melissasparrow.com, or please come join me on Instagram at Melissa Sparrow Healing. And you can learn a little bit more there as to what I do on a day-to-day basis. But I would love to also connect with them. If they have questions, they can certainly message me, reach out at my email, which I guess you guys could just leave, but it's Miss Sparrow.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
We'll make sure it's in the show notes for you.
Perfect. Awesome.
5 stars, highly recommend.
Yes.
Yes. And I always just have to drop in, y'all. Melissa's my mentor.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Just so y'all know.
That's right.
Oh,
Learn from the best.
well, honestly, I didn't teach you. I just helped you remember who you are.
Oh,
No.
completely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we love you so much, Melissa.
Aw, I love you guys just as much. And I'm sending you much, much love today. And
Same to you.
yeah.
And we'll see what we talk about next time.
Yeah.
Next time we can drag the equipment to the cemetery, maybe up by my house.
That's what
It's
I
a
wanna
really
do.
old
I
cemetery.
totally want to do that.
Yes.
That would be
Ooh,
a great
okay.
episode.
We need some power.
Okay, yeah, we can figure it out.
Some Wi-Fi. We'll
You need
figure it
a
out.
generator.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Get a
Right,
big
exactly.
In the background, All right. Well, take care, Melissa. And I hope everybody enjoyed the episode today. And if you have questions, reach out to Melissa on all of her socials and on her website. And I can't recommend her enough. We love her to death
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
and to life.
right back at you. Much love.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Melissa.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave a review. It's so easy to do and such a huge help for us. We appreciate your interactions so much. Want to join us at our table? Make sure to check out our YouTube channel and join our Facebook community. If you've enjoyed this content and wish to support us, take a look at our Patreon page. All information and links will be in our podcast description. Catch you next time.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM. Women's voices amplified.